What's good, fam? It's your boy Jorge. Welcome to another episode of the Boys Podcast. I got my boy in here, Mike Mason.
I'm Mike, still. Same Mike that's always been on the podcast. Are you cracking already?
Dude.
Let's do it. I need a little juice. I've had a long week, dude. Bad. Do the rip. I'm going to go with the gentleman's sip.
Hopefully everyone's doing good out there and recovering from Memorial Day weekend.
I'm not.
No?
No.
Not recovered?
No.
Oh, man.
Yeah. This lifestyle's got to change, dude. It's getting bad.
How can we change it? What do you need to change?
I need to move out into the middle of nowhere, do this podcast remote, not have any friends, not have any fun. Sit at my house by myself.
Okay, well, that ain't going to happen. That's not realistic.
I know.
Dude, you ain't tell me I got my shades on my head like a nerd?
I thought it was your style. You said you needed different hats and shit. I thought you were just covering it up.
No, this is a different one, so
Yeah,
I haven't worn this one yet.
Same. Exact same. Yeah, how was your memorial?
That's all right.
Yeah? Did you barbecue?
I did not. Dude, I have my barbecue, and it's old,
Mhm.
and I just don't want to use it till I get a new one.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I was talking to Hater Dave because he's in the same dilemma. He's like, dude, I've had mine forever. And he's like, as long as your grill's clean, I don't care. As long I'm like, yeah, but mine's just beat, dude.
Yeah. I know the feeling. Didn't I give you one?
No, a barbecue?
Yeah, I thought like when I moved back, you took that chrome one off me. Oh,
I wish.
I told you I drink too much. Can't remember shit.
Yeah, no.
So nothing. No cooking, no nothing.
Yeah, I did some pancakes and breakfast stuff on the flats. What's it called? Black Zone.
Excellent. That's super barbecue Memorial Day.
Yeah,
Traditional.
basically it. Yeah.
Cool, dude.
I don't really celebrate holidays like that.
Me either, but that one's pretty fun just because of the food.
You know, like 4th of July. No, wait, Cinco de Mayo, I mean. Everyone would be like tacos and stuff. I'll probably have like a pizza.
Oh my God. It's hard to believe we're friends if I'm being honest. Cinco de Mayo is one you don't pass up.
I don't know. The stuff really creeps up on me too.
Mm-hmm.
And I know like with you guys kind of plan a lot of stuff ahead of time, which I'm never
Don't be
invited
stereotyping.
to. It's cool.
I've always invited you.
I'll stay at home. But yeah, I never it creeps up on me. So then when it's time, I'm like, oh, dude. And then I'm so bad at that. That's why it's like nice having a wife.
Mm-hmm.
Because like for Mother's Day and just birthdays, I'm decent at, but like Mother's Day and everything, it just comes so fast that like she's always on top of it, like getting some on Amazon or whatever.
Gets herself her own stuff for Mother's Day.
No,
That's
for
rude, dude.
for like my mom and
Okay.
stuff, you know, for like the grandma and then the grandpa and stuff like that. So, you know, I'm lucky to have her. So she does that for us because I'll forget. And I'm like, oh, I'll go get a card and then just not, unless I see something. I'm more of a person, like even for like her, for like birthdays and stuff. If I see something and I know that that's cool, like I'll get it.
Yeah.
You know, but when I'm like, don't know anything, I'm like, fuck, dude, I don't know what to get.
We got to work on this.
Yeah.
Yeah. You need like a calendar on your desk or something with all the
Oh, I
days.
have it.
Well, what the hell? How does it sneak up on you? Look at it every day.
Yeah.
Go out there, grab your yearbook, look at the calendar and be like, oh shit, Mother's Day's coming up. I better do something. Oh God, my own birthday's coming up.
Yeah. Well, I guess I'm good with like my wife, but then I don't think about like.
Yeah, you don't think about me.
Yeah.
Don't bring me a card for Mother's Day.
For Father's Day. It's coming up, dude.
It is.
Yeah.
I got a dog.
You
I got
do?
a daughter. See?
Okay,
I'll be waiting.
Actually, before we transition there, at like Target and all those stores like that, they have cards that are like for furry mothers and furry fathers.
Yeah, but that's not the right furry. I don't want that.
No, it's
That's
for
like,
the dogs.
It's like the kids dressing up as freaking furries and shitting in litter boxes at school, dude.
That's weird.
It's
No,
so weird.
yeah, it's for the parents of animals.
Well, there you go. I'll be expecting it in June.
Hey,
We are
I'll
in
get
June.
you one.
Oh shit,
Yeah.
it's June.
June 1st.
Jesus, halfway through the year already. Dude, I've like literally drank this whole year.
New Year's resolution at all?
Yeah. Drink a little less. Haven't
Okay.
really succeeded yet.
Well, yeah, but you have the remaining 6 months, so now you can
but
like
now
really
we're-
tame it
We're into
down.
the summer months. There's no way.
Yeah,
This is
true.
when I get my beach bought out. I'm
Yeah.
out in the back, butt naked, tanning with a Coors Light. Golf, Coors Light.
Mm-hmm.
Sit on the couch, Coors Light.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's a lot of Coors Lights. Do you want to know how many I did this week?
Coors Lights
Uh-huh.
or just in general?
Well, it was mainly Coors Lights. I'd start with like a long drink or a high
When'd you
drink.
start?
Started last Friday.
You didn't start Wednesday?
No, because I got home from Jersey Wednesday.
Oh, yeah, that's
I
right. We
took
did
Thursday
the podcast.
off.
Yeah. So Friday.
Yeah.
So Friday to Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
You did 68 beers.
I'm not good at math. It had to have been more though, because I was averaging about 18 a day.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. God, dude, it's So the worst part of the whole thing is I was still recovering from Jersey, and then Friday, what did we do?
Maybe you drove down there.
No, we drove to Salt Lake on
Sunday. Oh, that's right.
Yeah, so Friday, I'm like, oh, I'll just keep it mellow, and then I think we golfed, and I had some beers, got pretty tuned up, and then Saturday, I was getting my stuff together, and I told myself, I'm like, pack your stuff. I mean, it wasn't much; it was just clothes and a golf kit, but. I'm like, pack your stuff, dude. Get all your shit ready. I had to be up at 5 because Philip, he wanted to get on the road at like 6. So we had to be to his house, before 6.
Smart man.
I know.
What's the hour drive there? 12 hours? 8 hours?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's just a little longer than Vegas.
Okay.
And it's easy. It's just straight across Nevada, doing 80 to 90 the whole time. But so Gil comes over, Brinkley comes over. Me and Bubs have just been drinking all day. But I'm like, that's fine. I can day drink and cut it off by 8 and pack my stuff still. Dude. I ended up in my room at like 12:30 in the morning trying to pack my clothes. I got to Utah, had only one sock for my golf kit.
Oh, man.
Forgot socks. And, dude, I woke up at 5 and I was still like seeing double. Thank God Zevi drove us into Carson.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, so that was rough. And I knew, like, I'm getting too old for it. I know better,
I mean, yeah, but when it's fun.
I know that's the problem.
We'll get in some topics a little bit later about fun.
Yeah.
And you'll see.
I'll probably talk the whole time.
You'll see what I'm talking about.
Oh,
God. To me, yeah, like drinking's cool, but I have that one where it's like, go big or go home, like 100% or none. You know, I can't just like sit there and sip and stuff. So, So, listening to your stories right now, I'm just like, well, it's not that hard, dude. And stuff like that. But I wonder how many other dudes listen to this and they're like, yeah, Mace, you're sick.
Yeah.
Because they do the same,
Yeah.
And it's like normal.
Well, and I've always told you too, you're lucky because you only liked like hard liquors, like Jack and Coke.
Well, I didn't like it, but
no, but that's what you would drink.
Yeah.
See, like I love Coors Lights. They're like water, and it's pretty easy to recover from them.
Yeah.
Like if I drank like a handle of whiskey or vodka every day, I'd be dead. I would stop drinking. So
you'd be hurting.
That's the problem is I'm such like a social drink. I mean, look at how much I talk on the podcast when we're freaking sober. You know, it's like. And it's weird. We just start telling stories, and like each beer, I get more animated. Like I'm standing up and showing like the whole thing, and when we're golfing, it just makes it more fun. You got music going, and I have the hardest problem. I'm like you. It's like if I start, I'm not going out there to have 2 beers and then get home and like have dinner and go to bed. It's like when I start, and I get it from my mom because my mom will not have like on Sunday fun day if she has to work on Monday. She will not just go out and have like a couple drinks with us at the Genoa bar or something, right? She's like, no, if I start, I want to keep going.
Yeah.
And that's like it's a blessing and a curse, I think.
Yeah, and for me, like I find, because I'll get excited after the pod. We'll go have lunch or whatever, and you guys have some beers or whatever. The talk starts, and I'm like at the brink right there, because I know what it is. I know it's fun.
Yeah,
it's fun hanging out with your friends, having some drinks and stuff like that. But like I guess my I don't know like what to call it, but I guess just like I'm just really good at not going over that.
Yeah.
So that's why I don't.
And you've got a lot of responsibility. You got kids, you got to work usually in the afternoons. Like
I got to pick up my kids. Yeah.
I mean, obviously when I was riding, it was a totally different ballgame. We were riding at Miller's every day. It's not like I was cracking beers Monday night and getting hammered and then trying to ride. So I don't know if I'm like, and also like no one believes it, but I didn't really drink and you believe it. Like, so I never really drank till I was like 21.
Yeah.
Cause like when I turned 21, I had shoulder and knee surgery and it took me out and I started buying beers. So it's like I wasn't a huge high school drinker. I mean, dude, I hit every after party. Yeah. But as far as week and, before my events, up until like the end, like Nitro Tour, I was hitting hotel bars every night because I was just kind of bored of riding. But
yeah, but even when like you first kind of started, because, I was always younger than you. So it wasn't like you sat at home and did it. I know that. Yeah. It was always like, because we had something to do.
Yeah.
It was the parties or whatever. So
yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like I would not miss those, but I took my riding very serious and man, maybe I'm just making up for lost time or something. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, it's fun. And I get to the point sometimes where I'm out and about or doing something and I'm like, I could, but then if I do, I have to like do it. Because what's the point of just having like 2 drinks and then kind of like maybe getting a buzz because I don't drink. So maybe getting a buzz and then like sobering up and feeling kind of like shit.
Oh, and then it makes you tired.
Yeah.
Like I had 2 beers on Thursday just because I was trying to kind of like even out. And I was tired as hell at like 4 p.m. I'm like, okay, well, that wasn't fun. I was stuck with my normal routine.
So I just think of that stuff. I'm like, better I just don't.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where I'm at with it.
Maybe I'll get there someday.
Yeah.
But like I said, my problem is just like, I'm such like a giggly drunk. Like, you know, like that's what I'm super thankful for. And like, even in the past with like girlfriends and stuff, they're like, thank God you're not like a like drunk that gets all pissed at them. And,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
like it's like, dude, I get super immature forever. If anything, I start tickling everyone and messing with them, and then I fall asleep.
That's because you do keep it with the beers.
Yeah.
And, you know, like, that's cool that not that you, like, I ever seen you all mad or whatever, but, you know, some people do get, you know, they're like, oh, yeah, I can't hit the tequila or the dark stuff.
It with tons of my friends and even my dad way back in the day, you know, if he drank a lot of hard shit, he was freaking an animal. Scary, you know, so. But I don't even like it. I don't do it because I'm afraid I'm going to get pissed at someone. It's like, it's not my thing.
Yeah.
Although we did have a chilled tequila in Salt Lake and it was pretty delicious. Just one.
I mean,
going
delicious. I don't know.
It was.
Was it?
Because it was like ice cold. When you do like silver tequila ice cold with like I do a lime with it, dude, you barely taste anything. And like luckily in Salt Lake they're pretty prude, so the shot was like an actual shot. So over here sometimes you get half a gallon in a cup. I'm like, Jesus, I'm gonna die right here. You know?
So I figured the hardest part of the last trip you did was probably doing all the beers, but then all the food you ate.
Oh my God. Yeah, we ate so much. We were in a coma yesterday on the drive home. Yeah. It's weird because I do the same stuff he does. We're talking about Kendrick Barbecue. I was in Salt Lake at his house, and awesome family. They took us all in, stayed at his house. And I mean, he had food just lined up for us, you know. Yeah. But I got to do my first tomahawk, which I've never done. It's the big ribeye steak with like the bone on it. I'm like, I've never had one. He's all, we're buying it. I'm like, sick, dude. It was only $60 too. Every time I see them, they're like 130, 140 bucks. So,
well, yeah, every time I've seen them is just like at restaurants.
Yeah,
and they're close to like 200
at a restaurant. Yeah, so we bought that, and he smokes it. He seasons it, smokes it for an hour or so, and then seared it. And, dude, I ate it. I'm like, how does it taste? Because that's how I do like tri-tips and stuff. I'm like, what do you do, dude? Like he just has like some kind of magic touch with that stuff, you know. And so that was awesome. Had that. Had some smash burgers, which are one of my favorites. And then the next day, it was kind of cool. He made us tacos. They were just steak tacos. He just seasoned them with like this like fajita mix. Same thing, smoked them, seared them, cut them up. But we did it more, I don't even know what you would call it. But instead of like Mexican style, like we do with like, cheese, sour cream, salsas and all this stuff. We had like the steak, onions, and then he did radishes and then a chimichurri sauce. Yeah. And we put that on there. And I still did like a little hot sauce, but I'm like, damn, that is good. Yeah. It's not like your authentic Mexican taco. Right. But, dude, they were so good. I was inhaling those things. So ate a bunch of those, had, breakfast burritos, you name it. So he fed us well. Yeah. It soaked up the beers though.
I mean, I was watching the story just punching the air. Yeah. Looking at my Blackstone being like.
Yeah, dude.
So, no, yeah, that stuff looked really good.
Yeah. So that was all good. The highlight was his dog. He's got like the little like Chihuahua type dog, It's literally that big. And Philippi, our buddy, he's like our bigger cat friend, Dude, he went to get up one night because the dog's like always pissed. It'll bark at you every time you walk by. Yeah. But Philippi had shorts on. He got up to go get a beer and the dog chased him and bit his ankle. Dude, and he was terrified. That was first night. He was terrified of the dog the rest of the weekend. Yeah. Every time he get up, he's like, and trying to like walk backwards and keep an eye out. Dude, we were dying. We were laughing so hard. Freaking awesome. And me and Xavier like petting the dog and playing with it. But every time Philippi moved, the dog just was like, had something against him. Damn. Yeah. So, dude, we were cracking up. Yeah, it was just a fun trip overall. It was, it's always one of those things. Like I got home from Jersey and I'm like, shit, dude, like I just got home from 9 days on the road. I did Tulsa before that, all that other stuff. But then like you get there and it's like, I'm glad I did it.
Yeah, for sure.
Because I only get to see Benny like once or twice a year, him and his family. And so anytime we get to catch up and like, it's not even just going there to have him cook us food. It's like the whole thing. He took us around Salt Lake. They actually have this cool bar concept. It's like a huge food court, but it's a bar.
Oh, it's a marketplace?
Yeah, but it's so like there's a huge bar and then there's like a Nashville hot chicken stop, like a sushi stop, burger, like, so you just walk around this like mini food court. Yeah. But it's also like a bar. They had TVs and stuff going. I was like, man,
they got one in Reno.
Do they?
Yeah, it's sick. We should go.
Yeah. So that was a cool concept. That was cool to check out. And yeah, just a good time, man. We had a good group of people.
Yeah. No, that's good. That's been a thing that like for the last maybe 5 longer years, I've told myself, because you kind of find yourself doing that. You say like you made plans with someone. And then this goes to everyone listening, don't do this. Okay. Or do this.
Don't do that.
reverse it.
Okay.
You know.
Yeah.
But yeah, you have plans with someone, and say you go do something, and then you get home, and it's like nice. You're like, and then you want to cancel.
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, just don't be lazy. Just get up, do it. Because a lot of 9 out of 10 times you get there, and you're like, dude, I'm glad I got my ass out of the house and came and did this. Yeah. Saw my buddy or whatever it may be. Because then also too, you don't know the next time you'll see that person or whatever. So I totally get what you're saying, and that's on a smaller scale. That's just like being at home. So yeah, coming from a crazy trip, a week trip, and then getting home, and you're like, fuck, dude, I gotta go
drive 8 hours.
Yeah, that's pretty gnarly. Yeah, I'm like, if I flew, that'd probably be one thing, but I'm like, dude, 8-hour drive, I might cancel.
I know, but it's weird because like I think it's just from the arena cross days, my early freestyle days. Like I almost prefer driving because airports are just such a mess now. I mean, they always have been, but like I always do the math. I got to leave my house an hour early, because we live almost an hour from the airport.
Yeah.
Get there, I got an hour, check in. If the security line's huge, whatever. Hour before my flight, do that.
Flights get delayed bad now.
If flights get delayed, or you have, it's almost a 2-hour flight, and then you got to get your bags an hour to the house. I'm like, well, shit. By then, I'm like over halfway there.
Yeah,
and it's fun. We get snacks. We had some, I had a couple road dogs in the back. Need a little leveler. Just telling stories and stuff. But on airplanes, it's like it's like in these tight confines, and also like I've flown damn near 1 million miles in my life.
Yeah,
through everything. It's like I would rather have my own space and take my time to get there because airports are just freaking.
Yeah,
hectic.
I do get that. Like, but at the same time, sitting down and not putting it on paper, it looks bad. But sitting down and being like, oh, I could drive to LA 7 hours, or I could get a flight that's going to take an hour and 15 minutes. But then I don't, put it all together. Like, oh, okay, I got to be at the airport for so long. Like this last LA trip, dude, I probably should have drove.
Yeah.
The plane was delayed by the time I got there. I had to go rent a car. And then the place was closed because I got there so late. Like it was just hectic. So it was kind of annoying, but I don't think about that. I just think of like 7 hours opposed to 1 hour.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but then, once you actually do it, it's not bad.
Yeah. And it was fun. Like I said, we had good company and stuff. But like that turnaround was rough. I would have way rather just gotten through security and sat on my plane and put my hood over my face.
Yeah.
Because like for the first, pretty much until Winnemucca, which is like almost 2 hours from our house, I was wounded, dude. I'm like, oh my. And I like put the blanket over my head, and they're videoing, Zevi and Philip here videoing me. Like, oh, look at Mace. And I'm like, dude, I'm human still. Because I'm always the dude that's usually never hungover and like ready to kind of rip in the mornings. But dude, like a 4-hour turnaround after doing freaking Jack Fire shots with Brian. And God, dude, we were a mess.
I'm glad they did that because you always feel me if I fall asleep in the car.
Yeah, but you're not even drinking. You just fall asleep.
Yeah, I mean, hey.
I had one excuse, dude. And it's cool because I always see you too. And you're like, dude, I'm not even tired. And then I look and you're all just rolling back. And I'm all right. And I'll swerve or something, get you awake.
Yeah.
But yeah, overall, good trip. I am stoked to say that I'm home for a couple weeks now.
Nice.
Just kind of regroup. Got just some fun little charity golf tournaments around here and stuff, but nothing like hectic. Like that was because I didn't expect that film job to come up.
Right.
In, at the end of April. I didn't expect to do the Live Pro-Am.
Yeah.
I knew I was doing Jersey and Salt Lake, but then it was like when you put all that together, it was like a month of being home 2 days at a time. You know? And, I miss my dog. I hate living out of a bag. That's the one thing that I do hate with traveling is, you're always like just having to put your stuff in and out of a bag. That kind of sucks. So it's nice just to be home, kind of stretch out, empty out a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Maybe with, you being home more, we should meet up and try and get some guests on.
Yeah. I mean, we've had guests,
Yeah, for sure.
We got Cliffy, Brian, maybe see what Miller's doing.
Yeah.
It'd be fun.
I know dude, it's so funny. He's on the Austin. I get kind of caught up on, because I love YouTube.
Yeah.
So I get kind of caught
up
on.
Say you love me at first. I'm like, whoa.
I love you too,
you threw a 2 on it, thank God.
No, I love YouTube. So, I get caught up watching certain videos. So I might watch, I watch the Deacons or whatever. And then all of a sudden, I'll recommend Christian Craig's channel. So then I watch that and I'll recommend someone else. So I ended up, this is a dude that I never really cared for. I don't know him personally, so I can't really say I don't like him, but I never really cared for him. But Austin Faulkner.
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, he's kind of whiny in my eyes, and he's always crashing. And then
always crashing.
There was a part there, I think when he maybe won a championship or maybe the year after, he was kind of like, it seemed like he was talking shit a lot.
Yeah.
He was like that guy, and then he just keeps getting hurt, and it's like, well, dude, what happened? Kind of deal.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I started watching his channel, and he's on the recovery from his ACL. So he just rode, I think, this past weekend or two. And Miller is on recovery from ACL tear from snowboarding, and he just rode too, like last weekend.
Yeah.
So they're like on the same exact
on the path.
Yeah,
on the path to recovery.
But Austin's like 20 something years old, and Miller's 40.
Yeah.
So it's
dude. And it was so funny. We were talking to Miller when he told us he tore his ACL snowboarding. I'm like, dude, you're in your 40s now, man. Like, what do you like? Go snowboarding, but have fun, because you should see him snowboard. Yeah. It's just like when he was like on 80s or 125s, like as a kid. Just an animal, dude.
I think he was saying when we went out to a show with him, we went to dinner, and he was saying, you know, he was trying to hit all the jumps in the park, and I'm all, damn, dude,
you're an amateur snowboarder. Yeah, what are you doing?
That's crazy.
Yeah, he lives life on the edge for sure. I mean, he was, like I said, he was the exact same growing up. He would have a 30-second lead and just yard sail himself like on minis or something.
Yeah.
That's just his personality. I'm way more reserved and understand how old I am now. I don't want to hit the ground.
Nah, for sure. I hit the ground yesterday.
I was going to say, yeah.
Dude, ate shit, went over the bars bad.
What'd you do?
There's this one section that you kind of do a left-hander, and then you go uphill, but it's all like, you know, third gear pin, like kind of whoops and stuff. Mm-hmm. And for whatever reason, I just like sat down in the turn, and then coming out, I was still sitting down, and I gassed it. And I hit a rock, and it made me go like to the left.
Oh yeah.
And then there's like a little bank with like sagebrush, because it's not like an actual track.
Yeah.
You know. And then I hit the sagebrush, and it corrects me. So when it corrected me, I just went over the bars.
Tossed you.
Yeah, landed, kind of bruised up my side here and everything. But the worst part about it is, as I did that, because I came across this section this way, and then you turn left, right? So I saw a worker truck and then a truck behind it. Yeah. So I'm turning, and I do that, and I eat shit, and I try to get up so fast because like I knew they saw me.
Yeah.
And they were just like driving by all slow. So I'm like, fuck, get up quick. And I'm trying to get up and then pick up my bike so they wouldn't come. And then I get up and I look, and the guy in the back, he kind of like stops, and I couldn't tell if he was looking at me, but he like stops, and I'm all, don't come down here. Like to check if I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah.
You know, so that was like the worst part, like just trying to get my bike up quick enough so the guys wouldn't come down.
So dude, and that's what I've told you before is crashing hurts. Yeah. But you have adrenaline going, so it takes a minute, you know, but like I've always been embarrassed.
Yeah.
Like when you just yard sell, like especially when you're racing, like in front of like at Silver State, and all your family's there, and you just grenade yourself. I'm like, dude, it hurts so bad, but I'm like so embarrassed right now. And I don't know why, because it's going to happen.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, you ride long enough. But yeah, I was always embarrassed.
Yeah, but I just like pictured those guys, like they're like, oh, cool, some dude's motoring out there. Oh, he just ate shit.
He is down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was all, fuck, you know, I got to get up and do that. And then, so on a positive note, I went out there. I guess it rained pretty hard here the night before, Tuesday night. So I went out there. It was actually kind of decent. So I was able to ride a little bit like faster.
Yeah.
I did one 15-minute moto.
There you go.
Got off. My hands were like kind of beat, but not bad. And then took like a 5-minute break. And then by that time, my hands were like recovered.
Yeah.
So then I went out for another one, and I did 9 minutes before I ate shit.
Yeah.
Then I got up, and I'm all like, my fucking pant thing like broke off and everything. So I'm like, yeah, maybe I should call it.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's good enough for the day.
So I didn't even get to do like a full 2 15-minute motos, but that's decent.
Yeah,
for me.
That's good.
And that wasn't pinned, like, you know, 5 minutes probably 100%.
Yeah.
And 10 minutes 70.
Okay. Yeah. That's what it should be though.
Yeah. So I wasn't, you know, doing anything major, but I
when did you crash? When you were at the 100 or the 70?
Oh, at the 70.
See?
Yeah.
You got a little too comfortable, dude. Sitting down, coming out of the turn.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, that's I was for sure at the 70 when I did that.
Dang it. Well, it sucks, but at least you're healthy.
Yeah.
And I had to cancel our golf date anyway, so give you a day of rest. Poor dude. See,
that'd be on our website counter how many times I was going to golf with Mike, and then he didn't.
Yeah, and I'm bad. I'm bad at it. I agree. My dad actually just yelled at me for double booking all the time.
Hey, maybe one day I'll golf with my partner here.
We'll document it. We'll bring some stuff for the for the YouTube.
Well, that's what we should do, though. I don't even care about the golfing part.
Yeah, I do. I love it.
I know. I like making content.
There you go. See,
it's weird.
We'll work. We'll work together.
I can't golf and then take my stuff with me. So I'm either filming the whole time or I'm golfing the whole time. I can't do both. It has to be one.
That's why I never have any content.
See, that's just kind of how I am, I think.
Yeah.
So that's exactly with drinking.
Yeah.
It can't be just do it or maybe do it a little bit. It has to either do it or not.
Well, you need to remember that next to me moto. Either 100% or don't do it.
Well, the thing is, I can't do 100%. That's the problem. I wish I could.
I know.
I just can't.
I know.
Let's get into some topics. I want to hear your opinion on this. Maybe put it into perspective for me. So Rocky, the Denver Nuggets mascot, he gets paid more than 90 plus players in the NBA.
No way.
Yep.
A mascot?
Yep.
No.
So he makes $625K a year.
Jesus.
Yeah. So he's the highest paid mascot, which is kind of weird. So I'm kind of wondering like why this is Denver Nuggets mascot. Why is it that he gets paid the most? He must have some good manager or something like that. But he gets paid more than 90, like probably over 100 players.
Yeah.
In the actual NBA.
I would have never guessed that. I would think a mascot maybe makes 50. That's insane.
I mean,
unless they're using them for like YouTube stuff, like, you know, sideline stuff, like not actual gameplay.
That's the only thing. But you know how they always like finesse you on that. They're like, okay, you're going to do this job, but then also we get to use your content for.
Well, that's like what you're saying. Maybe actually a mascot has a manager or something that negotiates, because I know like when I did Nitro, I did a lot of their PR stuff because I knew I was old and didn't ride very good, so I might as well make myself useful. Yeah. A lot of the stuff I did with it, like the mascots would come out, like at ballparks and stuff. So they'd be on the news, on their social media, on my social media, on Nitro's, you know. So I think that draws more attention than like, you know, some AAA player that's probably never going to like play in the majors or something. Yeah, yeah. That's the only thing I can think of. It's not just for, there's no way he gets paid that much just to go out in the game and wave his hands and do whatever. You know what I mean? So maybe they see him as a good value to the company, or dude, I don't know. Maybe he's LeBron James under the costume and they just.
I mean, yeah, who knows? But I mean, realistically, he could just show up to work and it could be me today and you tomorrow.
Yeah. Like, maybe just the mascot gets the 625, but it's like a rotating people like in the organization.
Yeah, who knows? But I thought that was pretty crazy.
Insane. Like, I'd be pissed if I was a player out there on the floor and this thing's getting. What is he, a Nugget?
No. What is he, Rocky? I don't know.
Like a moose or something?
Yeah, something like that. I mean, I'm kind of like, hey, maybe I should go to mascot school.
Mascot school, get a resume built.
Learn how to do it.
I'd have a helmet on or a hat on all the time so no one would see my head. Oh, God, I just found my career.
And you're good because you don't have hair?
Easy.
So you wouldn't sweat as much?
Not in front of our group, dude. I already told you, not having the hair, I sweat more. Oh. Because I don't have the barrier. Right? So it just comes off my forehead. Like I'm ruining hats left and right in the summer.
Me too. I'm bad with it.
How? You have a barrier?
Dude, because it's just a mop.
Yeah, you do.
You know, when you put a mop in water. Yeah. It sucks. No, it doesn't suck.
Yeah, it doesn't suck.
I apologize.
There's no way it sucks, dude.
So that's kind of crazy. Yeah, I would be pissed if I was an NBA player. But, you know, it's probably a lot of, it's probably over 100 players that maybe never see the court.
Yeah.
I don't know I don't know the ratio, because I know like in soccer you have the guys out there and then you have the subs. Yeah. You know, a sub maybe never sees one game.
Like a third string quarterback in the NFL. Yeah. They'll sit on the bench, or even sometimes the second string if you're behind Brady. It's like, dude, you never step on the field at all.
Yeah. So I don't really know the rotation in the NBA, how that works. If maybe every player gets at least, 2 or 3 minutes. Yeah. Maybe not a game, but like throughout the season.
Yeah. I don't know even what the roster is, because I mean, obviously they have their starting lineup and their bench lineup. Yeah. But they've got to have reserves, practice squad dudes or something to come up if someone gets hurt. Yeah. So freaking Rocky, dude.
Dude, killing it.
I would do like 6 years of that job and then just quit and never be seen again.
Dude, over $500,000 a year to be a mascot.
Yeah, to be a Nugget.
And I'm sure he works a lot. I'm all, cool to him. But dude, that's a lot of money.
What is there, 82 games? And he's probably, what's it, half 82?
41. Yeah.
Yeah, 41. Yeah, so he does 41 weeks. Or 41 games, I mean. Dude, that's good.
And he probably gets all the perks kind of as like the players.
Like sit courtside and stuff.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Gets, I'm sure they get the meals. He goes in there and eats with the players. And
does he have like a mouth, or does he have to take the helmet off?
I'm sure he takes that off.
That'd be cool if he was in there eating and all normal. Everyone's like, what the hell?
Yeah. Dude, that's actually funny, because I used to have season tickets to the soccer team we had up in Reno that's no longer there. And the girl that we had that hooked us up with all the seating and stuff, I remember her telling me about the mascot there, and he did pretty good. And he was the mascot for both. Like he loved it so much or something like that he did like 2 different type of mascots. And you're like, huh.
It's also Reno. They probably didn't have many options for but they didn't hit us up.
No.
We have our mascot degree.
I mean, I'll do it.
It can't be that hard.
Dude, for $600K, I'm doing it.
Yeah.
Speaking of partying earlier
Yep.
and having a good time, a 102-year-old lady claims the key to living long, so listen up, people, is good sex and a good sherry, which is like a wine.
Ooh. I'll do the wine. I don't know about good sex at 102. That thing's all powdered up.
Dude, look at the lady.
Oof. Yeah, I mean, bless her heart.
That's probably what she looked like while she was doing it too.
Oh my God, don't.
That's crazy.
That's enough. I'm gonna barf.
Yeah, so it's always interesting to hear, the people that live long, and they're always like, "Oh yeah, I've had Dr. Pepper, 2 Dr. Peppers a day for the last 50 years."
There was an old boy, I think he's like 99, and he said he's had a 6-pack of Coors Lights every day.
Damn.
Since like he was like 16 or something.
Yeah.
Like just because back in 100 years ago, like kids were put to work right away.
Yeah.
Said every day he'd come home 6-pack, which isn't like bent like I do way more than that. But I'm like, dude, he's.
But he did it every day.
Yeah, every single day.
Yeah, 100 years old. This lady's 102.
Yeah, and drinking wine.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Just banging it out. Kind of like Al Pacino.
God, what's the deal with that, dude?
Dude, 83-year-old Al Pacino knocks up his 29-year-old wife.
That's disgusting.
And I think his buddy De Niro just had a kid.
Yeah.
And I think he's younger than
he's
80.
Like 77 or something.
Yeah.
I heard the story on the radio.
Dude.
That's gross. Chicks are gnarly, dude.
I mean, there's a lot to like uncover here. But my main thing is, the chick thing is crazy because I think he was like 54 and she wasn't even born. Well, obviously she wasn't even born, But my biggest thing is like, it's cool to like populate and all that. But at the same time, like, do you not consider the feelings of this kid? So he's going to be born. Mm-hmm. You're 83 years old. Dude, you could probably die tomorrow.
Yeah. Like he's on his way
That's
out.
a legit thing.
Yeah.
Like he's knocking.
Yeah.
So this kid born 5 years from now, you die.
Yeah.
The kid doesn't even have a father.
Yeah. But the mom's rich as hell.
Yeah, the mom's rich and your last name's Pacino.
Yeah.
And, all that kind of stuff, which is awesome. But at the same time, it's like you're knocking people up when it's like, dude, you're knocking on death right there.
My thing is like, I'm 41, right? And like a 29-year-old to me looks kind of young.
That's exactly, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like
even like you don't want to get into like the early 20s or nothing for me, just the way it is. It's like, I can't imagine doubling my age and then being with, I don't know, dude. Yeah. It's kind of gross to me. Yeah.
And I mean, the reception on this, I think it's like split 50-50 for many different ways, not just one. But yeah, dude, if you had a girlfriend and she was 18, people would look at you and be like, dude, what the fuck are you doing?
What are you doing? Yeah.
Yeah. But this guy's 83 years old.
Yeah.
Obviously. And his chick's 29.
Yeah.
It's like.
And where I was going with the chicks is gnarly is like, there's no way, like, he takes his clothes off and she's like, God damn, he's sexy as hell. She's like, he's rich and I'm going to get paid off. I'll just sit on it. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Maybe I look at the world different, but I'm like, if I have a girl naked, I want to be like, oh, that's nice. I don't want to have 102-year-old laying there and I'm freaking throwing KY on it.
Oh, dude. I mean.
Throw up, dude.
I mean, I'll be like, all right, well, take me instead of her.
Yeah. Take my shirt, but not the eyes or whatever. Take my eyes, but not the shirt. Yeah, it's weird. Like even take, for example, like Jane Fonda, right? I think she's 80.
Oh, I just saw her on that 80 for Brady.
80 for Brady.
Yeah.
And she still looks good for an 80-year-old.
Yeah.
But dude, still you take the face makeup off and shit, under those clothes, it's an 80-year-old body.
Yeah, it's not
going to be good. And it's like, that's why I say girls are gnarlies. Like they'll do anything for that security or that clout or whatever. And I'm like, dude, I would probably throw up.
Okay, well then this brings up the topic of, I don't know if you saw, but Cher, she's close. She's in her high 70s, I believe. So she was just dating this rapper guy, which is a producer. I don't know if you heard of Amber Rose. She has like the bald
Wiz's
head.
baby mama.
Yeah. So he was with her and had a kid with her. And then, the dude just loves puss. Yeah. So he just cheating on her and stuff like that. So they broke up. And then all of a sudden, Cher is dating him.
Oof.
So like,
Cher is not attractive.
Would you be doing that?
No.
Mm-mm. Not even if you met Cher and she like had a little crush on you. And
no,
was like, hey,
dude,
man.
no, because I'm telling you, just picture like when I look at my grandma's arms, right? Like, I don't want to picture her naked by
yeah.
any means, but like when you look at her arms, it's like, it's just kind of like they're old.
Yeah.
You know, you're too old.
Yeah, she's just old.
But yeah, it's like, no way, dude.
Give me an older lady that you would.
Older lady that I would.
And let's say woman. Like, okay, lady sounds like pretty old. But
I wouldn't do Rosie O'Donnell.
I mean, I don't even know why that one jumped into your head, dude.
I don't know either. Dang, I don't know.
Like Pam Anderson. Like,
yeah,
older.
I would think, I can't think off the top of my head, and I'm under pressure now. I'm starting to sweat. But like mid-50s is about as high as I'd go. Right. So I met the chick from Home Improvement, Heidi. Remember her? Mm-hmm. She was like the tool time girl.
Yeah.
I did a golf tournament with her, and I think she's like 56, and she doesn't look half bad at all. Mm-hmm. But I'm not gonna creep like towards 60 much.
I don't know though, because I think like J-Lo's 52.
Yeah,
dude.
Yeah, 52 is fine.
She looks like she's like 30.
I know. I could do like 10 years older than me. That's fine. But
what if J-Lo is 60, 65 and looks like J-Lo now?
Well,
then we're just talking about a number.
Yeah.
To like this chick looks.
Yeah.
Ripping still.
I don't know, dude. I would prefer like 30 to 35 if I could.
Yeah.
Just to be safe.
Okay.
It's quiet here.
Yeah.
Well. Dude, I'm still trying to think of like an older girl. Like J-Lo's hot.
Yeah.
No doubt. She has like good skin and everything. Takes care of herself. But I'm telling you start to get up in that age and shit just looks different.
Yeah.
There's only so much makeup you can throw on and cover up. It's
hey, a little bottle of Hennessy and I might do it.
Well, we're talking sober right now.
No, I was just talking.
Give me a 12-pack. I'll have all kinds of answers for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, but 84 or 83 to 29 is disgusting.
Yeah.
That chick has daddy issues for sure.
Yeah, she has issues. I feel bad for the kid that it's going to have like a stepdad.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
But
what if it's Robert De Niro?
No, he's on the way.
And then it's Joe Pesci. Just goes through the whole
Joe Pesci is looking
set.
Horrible right now.
He is, dude.
Yeah.
I just saw something with him. And I'm like, damn.
Yeah, because he's a big golfer.
Yeah. He's like one of my favorite actors.
Mm-hmm.
Just his little voice, and he's all fiery. He's killing people.
Dude, Home Alone.
Yeah. And I just saw him the other day. I'm like, oof.
Yeah.
He's got one foot on a banana peel and the other's in the grave.
Yeah, well, the thing is, I think it's just because he's so small.
Yeah.
He looks very fragile, but he might be in good health because he's out there golfing like every day.
Yeah.
Being active.
Yeah, and you know how those like Italian type people eat.
Yeah.
They eat all red sauces and sausages and stuff. It's gonna catch you.
Yeah.
They're not vegan by any means.
But maybe Pacino's on the same. Dude, at 83, you can still get it up.
Dude, he's so rich, he has medicine.
And you have like live sperm.
That's what I'm more impressed about. Is like he still had active swimmers.
Yeah.
David swimmers. Like
so he's probably just in there just going to town.
He's on his back. I guarantee it.
I mean, he probably has her doggy.
Oof.
I don't know.
29, that's not bad.
I mean,
Why'd you look out the window?
I don't know, because you looked out
Secret Service is coming?
No, but maybe he's just like getting in there every single day and he thinks, oh, dude, I'm 83. I'm not going to have a kid.
Yeah.
And it was an accident but then also too, I mean, women have rights to like not go through with it. I think. I don't want to get into that issue.
I'm telling you, dude, she needed security.
Yeah.
She needed the ultimate paycheck.
I'm actually kind of surprised. I didn't know he was married to a 29-year-old.
Me either. I didn't honestly know he was still alive till you just said, or till I saw it on the radio.
He's definitely alive.
Yeah, obviously everything's alive.
Yeah.
Lucky.
So he's killing it, but that's interesting. That's interesting because we're getting older, so I always wonder about that stuff. I'm like, I wonder when you just stop.
Yeah.
I guess you don't, as a dude.
I wonder when you just like find like a partner like of age. Like Leo's like 46. He was dating like a 17-year-old or something not too long ago, and he got in a bunch of trouble for it.
Yeah, but that's a little bit better than 83 to 29.
Dude, just picture like Lash's daughters are like 17.
Yeah.
It's like I couldn't picture at my age like dating that. Like you want a woman at that age, right? You
Yeah.
don't want like a little girl. Like,
yeah, and then Leo, Leo should I don't know, maybe the girls he goes for are more mature. I mean, they definitely look a lot.
They read at a sophomore level, no doubt.
Yeah, for sure.
Other than that,
they look more womanish, if that's a word.
Yeah. Speaking of sophomore level and reading, you just told me that. How do you say his last name? Bert Kreischer? Kreischer or whatever.
Yeah.
The Van Wilder movie was built off him.
Yeah.
The old Ryan Reynolds one.
Yeah.
Dude, that's sick.
Dude, so I saw a little clip from a podcast and he was on there, and that was like the kind of the clip that catches your eye. So I was like, there's no way.
Yeah.
So I watched the whole clip, and basically he's sitting there talking about he went to college. He went for 6 years, you know, blah, blah, blah. Then he started doing stand-up comedy and stuff like that. And then Will Smith discovered him, which is something I didn't know either. So, and then after that, Will Smith was trying to like help him out or whatever. And he made a deal with like one of the networks, the studio or whatever. And he had this story for the Van Wilder thing, basically. And then also there was someone else involved that was part of the story too. So he was like, no, I don't want to do whatever he was advised not to do. I don't really know what it was, but he didn't go through with it. But the other person that was involved in the story sold the rights to the movie. And then they ended up making the movie. And then he was all pissed off because he's like, I didn't approve this or whatever. Yeah. But the other person did.
But he probably didn't have no proof that it was his script or whatever. Right?
Yeah. But the thing is too, like, you know, we watched Van Wilder. That's a bitchin' ass movie.
I love it, dude.
Bert Kreischer, no offense or nothing, but you were not that.
Yeah.
So the only part they probably took from the Van Wilder movie from his life is that he went to college for 6 years.
Yeah, yeah.
That was probably it.
I could see him having like his own golf cart on campus, maybe.
Maybe.
That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
But
he wasn't pulling Tara Reid. He wasn't.
Hell no.
He wasn't that cool guy.
Yeah.
I don't know.
See, Tara Reid, I think she's older. I could probably hold hands with that one.
Oof.
Actually, she looks like crap now, huh?
Yeah, she partied way too hard.
Yeah. Okay, back to Van Wilder.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do love that Bert dude though. He's awesome.
Yeah.
Like I don't watch much comedy, but like Theo Von gets me going, like makes me laugh, and that Kreischer. What is it, Kreischer or Nur?
Kreischer.
Okay. Well, I'm just gonna call him Bert.
Dude, I saw him a few years ago up in Reno. It was so funny.
Yeah. Do you see his he makes me feel better about my drinking habits? Do you see that skit he did?
Yeah.
Where he's like telling he's like, I want to wake up and have a mimosa. And, you know, I might just black out drunk. And then I want to wake up the next day. He's like, I keep this body running just good enough to drink every day.
Yeah.
And I'm like, God, that's my spirit animal. We should make a movie together.
Yeah. Even I don't want to ruin it for you, but like he kind of reminds me of a Will Ferrell in a way.
Yeah.
Because he has these little like tics where I don't know, he's always like almost like cry laughing.
Yeah.
And it's like, all right, dude, tone it down a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, and then
Will Ferrell's the worst.
He just like cries all the time for certain stuff.
Yeah.
And then there's one where a clown or there was like a balloon in the room and he was all freaking out. And it's like, dude, chill out.
Down. Yeah.
You know?
Sometimes it's over the top.
A little over the top.
That's why I hate Will Ferrell's. Like every part that he plays is like half of it's not even funny. Like I said, there's one part that I've ever thought was funny, or one movie, I should say.
Dude, I just saw the Other Guys with Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah.
That movie's pretty funny.
Never seen it.
You never saw it?
No, because Will Ferrell's in it.
Yeah, he's in it. And then he's married to Eva Mendes. That could be she's probably up in their 40s, 50s almost.
She's hot. Isn't she married to Gosling now?
Probably.
The Notebook dude?
Probably.
I think so.
Yeah. He's banging that out.
He is not.
Nah, he's a puss.
Those Hollywood dudes don't know what they're doing.
Al Pacino does.
Yeah.
And Robert.
I like how I'm talking shit.
But they're old school.
Yeah.
That's why.
Uh-huh. I like how I'm talking shit and I'm from Minden, like I'm some stud.
Yeah.
I don't know what the hell I'm doing.
Yeah,
and I keep my hat on. You know how that looks?
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. But yeah, so she's in it, and there's this like running joke in the movie where, you know, because Will Ferrell's this nerd cop, and then Mark Wahlberg's cool, and he goes and like meets her or goes to dinner with them and stuff, and he's like, seriously, who is that? And he's like, that's my wife. He's like, no, stop playing, dude. Who is it? You know, and he keeps doing that. It's hilarious. But yeah, I just watched that this weekend.
Huh.
That was pretty good.
I didn't watch nothing.
Yeah.
I watch YouTube music videos.
Did you ever watch that Tupac documentary?
I haven't yet.
Dude, you're on a flight and you couldn't watch it?
No, I was going to watch it on the flight. It wasn't on the flight.
No, but like on your phone or something?
No. You would be proud of me. I watched The Air movie.
Oh, I did watch it too.
Yeah, with like about the Jordan and the Nike deal. Dude, that was sick.
Yeah.
I like that kind of stuff. Because I didn't know, like I just thought Nike was huge even back then.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't realize like they were like the freaking lowball group and
yeah,
all the stuff they went through to get him, and you know, then the royalty thing, and like they're all stressed out about that, and then all of a sudden it's like he pretty much made Nike what it is.
Yeah,
you know, like now there's golfers wearing like Jordans and stuff. And
yeah.
So that was a crazy story. I was stoked to catch up on that for sure.
Yeah, that was.
Owned one pair in my whole life.
I have a few.
It was like 5th grade. Yeah, you have so much shoes, dude.
Speaking of that, I should check my phone.
No phones on the set.
Sorry, dude.
Okay.
This morning, they got the sneaker app So any shoe head out there knows my feelings on this. But sneaker app, you're supposed to be able to get, you know, some shoes or whatever. They release them today. You get on there 7 a.m., 10 a.m. Eastern, and you push the button trying to get in. And a lot of times, like, the bots get them before everyone else. Yeah. So now they're like trying to do things to combat the bots and everything. And it's just been a shit show, dude. Like, you can't even log in. So I look at my phone, I go on the app, and I'm signed in.
Okay.
7 o'clock comes around, I push the button to buy. It requires me to sign in.
Weird.
I'm like, I was just signed in, dude.
Yeah, I hate that stuff.
So it takes me to a page to sign in, and then it stays there. And I think it only gives you like a 10-minute window to like enter the draw.
So you missed it.
So I miss it. And it's like, dude, what the? So today I actually was able to get in there and stuff, but I never got the email telling me if I got it or not. Which
you didn't?
No, I still haven't gotten it. So I didn't get the shoes.
You know what I got?
Some Vans.
Yep, right to the store. Vans, black. Put them on.
Van Wilders.
Right, yeah, Van Wilders. Dude.
Nice.
Not that comfy though.
No,
it's all right. I'm not known for my style. I think we can all agree on that.
I mean,
all black.
But see, I kind of do the same stuff too. But you just kind of need a little bit. Like, if your shoes were on par, they'd be like, dude, your outfit's sick, even though it's black pants and black shirt, shoes, and then you have like maybe a hat that complements your t-shirt.
Definitely having a hat.
I'm just saying the hat has.
Oh, you did match it up. I see it.
I'm just saying
shoes are kind of off a little bit besides the swoosh.
Well, not really.
A little bit. I mean, just judging.
I'm just saying, but you know, that's what you got. I got a lot of compliments on my TLC shirt last week.
Yeah.
So I had to bring out the Biggie shirt.
Dude, you're gonna run out of band shirts.
I need a band shirt.
What's next?
Sponsor,
like Roxette or something. What are you gonna wear?
Prince, maybe.
Prince, nice.
You like that?
Yeah, come in with like one little crossing.
That'd be hilarious. What else you got for me? You got any topics for me?
I don't think I do.
Sex topics?
Oh, Jesus. No, been pretty abstinent lately. It's time.
Yeah, you know,
turning over a new leaf.
You know who should have been abstinent?
Al Pacino.
Dude, the guy from the '70s show.
Oh,
you see
Danny
that?
Masterson, dude.
Danny Masterson, guilty of 2 counts out of 3 of rape.
Yeah,
dude. So I saw he could face 30 years, right? But then I looked further, and it's 30 years to life. So I thought I was just facing 30 years, and I'm like, I mean, 30 years is a long time. He's not going to get 30 years, right?
No, he's a Hollywood dude.
But for raping 2 or 3 women, that doesn't really sound like a long time.
Yeah.
Right. And then later on, I saw it was 30 years to life.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, okay.
But like you said, he'll probably do like 5 and then be on house arrest or something.
Yeah, I don't know.
Dude, that's what...
I'm surprised they found him guilty.
Yeah, I know. I kind of forgot about it because I saw it a long time ago that he was going.
Well, I think he was found guilty, and then they did a retrial.
Yeah, they called it like a mistrial or something.
Okay, yeah,
or whatever. Yeah, and these people are just sick assholes, dude.
So it was 3 counts of rape or whatever you call it. One of the counts was just not. So he got guilty for 2 charges.
Yeah, and the other one was like his girlfriend or something.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. It's kind of weird that he. Just because of who he is and, you know, Hollywood and all that kind of stuff, that he actually was found guilty. But, I mean, fuck, dude. If you do the crime, you got to pay.
Dude. And that's another thing, back to the Al Pacino thing, is like, when you're having sex with a female, you like want them to be into it too. What the hell is the point of freaking drugging them until they fall asleep and then doing it? That's disgusting.
Yeah. Well, that, and a better point, I think, is, oh, what's going on out there?
Just someone walking the dogs, yeah.
Better point is, dude, if Al Pacino, I know he's like, way bigger than Danny Masterson. But Al Pacino at 83 years old, saggy balls down to his knees.
All the way down there.
Just like horrible looking dude.
Yeah.
He's about to die. Can pull a 29-year-old hot chick.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm sure when this Danny dude this was like 23 years ago.
Yeah.
You know, in the early 2000s. You know, the height of fucking the 70s show. Everything. He's, you know, young. I'm pretty sure you could have pulled those shits.
I know, dude. I don't get it.
You don't need to be raping people.
Dude, I think it's like legit like a mental health issue.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like something about that turns them on. It's like, what? I don't get it.
Yeah, and I'm actually surprised there's only been 3 girls within that whole time period.
That we know of.
Yeah, that we know of. Yeah. Well, that's the thing. I think one girl came out and then...
She came out right away and they silenced her, basically.
Yeah, but then once it actually came out to light, the other 2 came out.
Yeah. Like, remember Darren Sharper, the NFL dude?
Yeah.
Oh, he was in the same shit, and he got a bunch of them. I think he's life in prison.
Okay. Bill Cosby.
Dude, yeah, Bill Cosby. Dude, I saw some meme the other day, and it's all, what's the weirdest thing a girl's ever done to you in bed? And it was like a fake Bill Cosby underneath comment. It's all woke up. Dude, I lost my shit on that one, dude. It was so good. But yeah, I'm not normal. Obviously, I drink too much. I golf too much. I'm immature still, but I'm glad I'm relatively normal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's some weird people out there.
Yeah. That's why I think I'm not good at anything.
Yeah.
Because I'm just normal.
You're pretty good.
I mean, I'm all right.
Good golfer.
I mean, probably one of the best around here.
Let's not go that far.
No, but you know, people say, Michael Jackson, whether you believe it or not, he was, whether you believe it or not, but at the end of the day, he was kind of a weirdo.
Yeah.
R. Kelly, like these guys that come out and they have like weird, even like Michael Jordan, even though he hasn't done anything that we know of that's bad, but he had that thing where like if you even looked at him wrong, he's like, I'm gonna fuck you up.
Yeah.
And he
took
took
he's a
that
degenerate gambler.
Yeah. He took that personal and stuff like that. So it seems like people that are like super great at one thing kind of have like this like disconnect from reality that they do some weird shit.
Yeah. That's why I'm still hoping to this day that Tom Brady, nothing comes out about him. Because he's the most normal superstar dude ever.
Yeah.
So I'm sure something will happen though. Always does.
Yeah. I don't know though. That's a different one because, we look at Jordan, he was just like a freak athletic dude.
Yeah.
We look at the performers, just like super talented at like singing, dancing, like all that kind of stuff. Tom just kind of, he's like the best, but at the same time is, it wasn't like a solo thing where he has the line to like protect them.
Yeah.
He has like the good coaches. He went and he did his job.
Yeah.
How he needed to every single time.
I concur.
So it's not like, I don't really consider him like just this freak athlete, just like, I think he just had the right conditions.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And you got to like, you're 100% right on that. Like Jordan did so much stuff and, a lot of these dudes, but like Brady, just the playoff Super Bowl games, like, where he would just come down to the line and he always made something happen.
Mm-hmm.
Like his first Super Bowl ever, they thought they were just going to go into overtime. And they kind of told Tom, just like dink and dunk down the field. Something happens cool. Got him right in the field goal range and they won the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
That's like what he was good at, because like, and honestly, like a dude like Eli Manning, like look at him, the 2 Super Bowls he won, dude, like last minute plays. And so there is something to be said about that. Cause I mean, look at it, 98% of the actual NFL quarterbacks through history can't do that.
Yeah.
There's a rare breed that can actually do that. But yeah, like,
I think mentally he was super tough.
Yeah. And the thing that's gnarly, because like think about Jordan, right? He probably always wanted the ball in his hands when the time came. And that's Brady. Like, Brady got the ball in his hands, the announcers and everyone, they're like, oh, this game's not over. And he's done it before. So, but he is just a normal, nerdy.
He's more normal than most of the people that are like super, the GOATs at what they do.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
So,
dude, speaking of GOATs, like in moto, in my eyes, I'll always see James Stewart as a GOAT. Ricky, he was dope and super good. Kind of an outlier because body type and just short little dude. For what he did was obviously impressive and stuff like that. But dude, Jet Lawrence might just smoke all these guys.
Yeah, he's a bad dude. The only thing that's going to take him out of the outdoor series right now is him.
Yeah.
Like he freaking is. He looks so good on that 450.
I think Chase is going to step up and really battle him.
Yeah, it'll be. And both those guys are going to mess up at some point this year, right? Like we've seen Chase crash time and time again. But I think if you look at the series overall, those are the 2 dudes that are going to be battling for the title.
Oh, yeah.
No matter what, even if they do crash and get a 10th place or something. And
yeah.
I actually just watched the first national last night because I was gone all weekend. He looks sick on that 450.
Yeah.
And Chase does too. They both look, like they're just their style. Like I told you on the previous podcast, they've kind of made moto fun to watch again for me. Because, not taking nothing away, but like the Villapotos and the Dungies, there was nothing like cool about watching them ride. They always just kind of looked like old man style, but they were faster than hell and they were, very successful. But like
consistent.
When I watch Jet, like me and Bubs always say it, it's like he makes me want to buy a Honda 450 or 250F and like make my bike look like that.
That's why I went moto.
Yeah. And then you crashed.
Yeah.
That's why I don't buy it. See, I have like, the devil and the good guy the angel over here. So
the good guy.
The devil gets me at the bar, but then the angel gets me for not one ride.
He's like, Mace, you were just drinking. Maybe don't ride.
Yeah. And you're out of shape and you're going to go out there and think it's still 2010.
Yeah. Oh, I don't like that. Where did Jet come from?
Australia.
But like, you hear of the amateurs coming up through here and stuff. I never heard of him until he actually rode here.
I'm the same as you. I mean, like, I don't pay a whole lot of attention to moto these days, as far as like amateur stuff, right? Like, I still watch a lot of the main racing, but I know when he first came over, him and his brother especially, it's like he was so.
Yeah.
Like he was on maybe the West Coast or something, and he kept crashing and never looked like he was going to be a dominant guy. Like, I thought for sure a title was in his future, but it's just something happened. He matured and he's peaking like all at the perfect time. Yeah. Cause that's all it is for these guys is maturity. Yeah. Like Cooper Webb. Like,
he has the right body type too. He's built for that. I think.
And he has a good style where, like I said, he's the only one who will take himself out. Like, he's very smooth. If you watched, like I watched his lines at, Paula, it's like, he's very calculated. Like, he just always looks in control. So it is kind of weird when he does crash, something happens, but I don't know. It's a weird thing. Cause that's not that I'm Jet, but it was the same with how I've always told you, like in arena cross, I never felt like I belonged. I just went there for the jump off. And then I went to freestyle. And as I started getting better at freestyle, I felt like everything on the bike got better. Like, I could go to the local track and hammer out laps. And I felt like when I was riding at Sandy Valley in Vegas before X Games, dude, I felt so good there. 25, 30-minute motos, smooth, and just like my corner speed got, because like I got this like maturity all of a sudden, like I belong in the sport. Okay. And confidence, and then like, even though it's winning X Games, it's like you go to a local track and most of them watch X Games. So it gives me a confidence. I'm not just some dude showing up there trying to like hang out or something, and I think that's with football, basketball, anything, like LeBron James being mature enough to be in the NBA, or Kobe at 18 years old. That's gnarly. And everyone has different peaks. And I think Jet, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, right now, his confidence, his fitness, his team, everything has like peaked perfect. Yeah. And he looks unbeatable. Like, where Chase, he's maybe still peaking. Like, he looks great and then he doesn't. Right. Like, he'll have a first and then a 10th, or, I don't see Jet doing that, but I don't know. It's moto. Anything can happen. Like, look at Eli. He was about to win a title and just landed on a jump. And
well, Eli might consider coming back and extend those leads that he has on on wins and stuff like that, because Jet's gonna just come by, I think, and blow all that shit out of the water. Especially he's 18, 19 years old. I think Chase is 23 years old.
And honestly, and it's hard to say, and I'm not discrediting the lights guys, but like, if Jet stays healthy, and dude, he's got 5-6 good years under his belt, because I don't really see anyone in the lights that could come up right now. And compete with him. Like you said, if he's, I don't know how old he is, but let's say he's under 20 and he puts 5 good years in it, by 25, it's like,
maybe the only other person is his brother, but
he beats his brother in the normal head-to-head races, and so I don't know, but it's sick. He's making moto fun to watch again.
What really weirds me out about watching him is how how he rides, right? He'll stand up in a lot of turns. Yeah. And he's so tall, so it just looks weird. But then sometimes he'll go into a turn and completely like stand up on it and like stop. Yeah. Like him, Yeah. But he never like dabs his foot down or nothing. He just like stops and then keeps going. I'm like, dude, how do you do that?
Yeah. And that's what me and Bubs, because we watched the race last night, that's where he's so gnarly, because they show him and he's not on he's not wide open. Yeah. Right? He's like almost like on like a slot car track. It's like he has balance. His balance is unbelievable. And he'll get into a rut, stand up through the rut, and kind of just idle into the next turn. But he's never like that notchy stop and go type of deal. Where like then they show like Plessinger, and he's like feet are hanging off. He's wheeling out of the turn, kind of gets set up wrong in the next turn, And that's the smallest detail, because Aaron's still just as fast as Jet in a sense, right? They're all like the top elite level, but those little mistakes over 35 minutes or whatever it may be, that's like where the difference is. Like, you watch Jet and you have to watch him every lap to pick apart the smallest mistakes. He's just got that momentum, and he had it in Supercross. He looked awesome in Supercross. And if you pay attention to like a lot of the other dudes that are 4th, 5th, 6th, even his brother, It's just those little errors at that level. Because I guarantee you they could all go to the test track right now and have almost the same lap times.
Yeah.
But it's who puts it together, the whole moto.
Yeah, so I think big on mentality and the confidence, because they're in Supercross. I remember watching him and he'd ride and like case something super bad, but like he's just super strong, good bike, good suspension, where he cases it, soaks it up, and then just does the next obstacle that he needs to do. And you're like, dude, how do you do that? Because other guys, they might case it and then go over the bars or do something, but he's just like so confident with the bike that, you know.
And like you said, a lot of it's his body type. You know, like Cooper Webb's a shorter dude.
Yeah.
So when Cooper cases something, he doesn't really have like legs and arms to get it back going, where like you said, Jet can case something and he won't like, it won't compound the error. He can get through the section still.
Yeah.
And just everything's matched up. It's fun to watch. Yeah. So he's a bad dude, and he's a great ambassador for our sport. I think we talked about it in freestyle last week, maybe, where we don't have some personalities like Jet. Like, he's making his own donuts, making all this own, like his merch, all this stuff, you know. And someone was at one of the Supercrosses and said like Jet and Danger Boy's lines were like they couldn't even get everyone at like thousands of people.
I bet.
You know, so that's great for our sport. Like having Deegan in the lights class, having Jet in the 450 class, because that's what we need. Like, that's going back to like the Dungey Villapoto areas. Those dudes were just so in the zone and focused. They didn't look at the outside of moto, right? And they're like, you're going to be a role model for a kid no matter what. Someone's going to watch Dungey ride and be like, man, I want to be Dungey when I grow up.
Yeah.
But then like Jet's making that personality where kids are like, man, I want to be like Jet, period. You know what I mean? And that's cool. And like you said with James Stewart, as James came out, he was wild. He was, you know, eating shit all the time, but then he was winning by 40 seconds and dancing after, like, people wanted to be James Stewart.
Oh, yeah.
McGrath. You know,
I still want to be James Stewart.
McGrath coming out with taillights on his helmet and a $100 bill clear coated in it. And, you know, renting like a freaking Ferrari and coming into the pits. It's like, he's a badass rider, but then you want like his lifestyle too. And that's like, it's rare in our sport to have those combinations. Like Deegan had it. A lot of people have it, you know, but some don't. And that's why champions are always looked at different. That's why like a lot of the 80s champions and 70s champions are afterthoughts, because they were like just old gritty dudes.
Yeah.
No thought of like, how can I affect this kid that's watching me and looks up to me, but how can I affect him in his life in general? You know, and it's awesome to me because any moto racer, but like especially a Jet, it's like you got kids now that want to be healthy and they want to train and they want to look like him. And, you know, it's like, it's not this cool, like wild side of stuff. You know what I mean? Like, because McGrath's era was obviously easier. So it's like you got kids bleaching their hair, piercing their ears, you know, like doing dumb shit like in the off season or something. It's like Jet and these guys are like actual athletes and like a good role model for the kids.
Yeah. And I will give props. I think that kind of started with Roxon when he came over. He had that like athletic build to him. The gear started changing to be super tight, which sucks for us.
Oh, dude, I'm not. That's another reason why I don't want to bike.
But so he had that gear that was like form fitting to his body. Yeah. It looks more like a uniform. Yeah. You know, like football or whatever. So it started being cool to like, hey, let's train, let's look good, let's be fast on the bike and everything. But and then obviously social media. Yeah. Because these kids are doing it right.
And that's another step to it, is like Roxon was so good on social media and he interacts with people to where they're like, oh, this is a real dude, not someone running his account. Right. Yeah. So you have all these aspects that make these dudes bigger than life. And that's the reason why, you know, some dude that can win a championship might have 100,000 followers, and then some dude that wins it has, you know, 4 million or something like Roxon does, or he has like 2 million or whatever. But there's a rare breed of guys that understand the whole package. Like even Ricky didn't understand it. No, right. Ricky trained his ass off. And granted, the dudes I'm talking about, social media wasn't actually a thing, right? Like back in those days. So,
well, I think it's a good point too, because you kind of see it with Stewart, because Stewart, when he retired, you know, we didn't really know if he was retired or not, if he was coming back. And then he kind of like disappears. And then all of a sudden he comes out with this, his little podcast that he does. And he's like breaking down the races, which is awesome, because I want to hear it from someone like him. Yeah. And he knows what he's talking about, you know, so he's doing that. And then all of a sudden now you start seeing him in the broadcast. Yeah. Because I think those guys maybe saw and they're like, dude, he talks good. He's good at what he does. Yeah. So they bring him on the broadcast. And I love hearing him on there. He's like actually has like a personality and stuff like that. So I think at one point he was like, I'm going to take advantage of the social media thing. Yeah. Because, you know, he had his JAA7 page on Instagram, which I'm blocked
Still
on.
blocked, yeah. God,
Sucker.
you're never going to get over that.
No. But yeah, and then he starts his bubble podcast
Yeah.
and everything, and he probably realized, hey, if I want to keep relevant, which no one really knew. I didn't. I'm a fan, and I didn't know what he was doing.
No one did.
All of a sudden, he comes out with that, and now he's super big in there again.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's because social media.
And it's cool because I've told you this with X Games, is like it was my way of giving back, right? Because of Moto, Stewart has a great life. Yeah. Right. He's retired. I think he was retired before he was 30. You know, lives a great life, has all the stuff he wants, like doesn't have to worry about money. And it's like, we shouldn't take advantage of that. Certain people, like I would never, like X Games single-handedly is why I even got to be anything. Yeah. You know, so it's like the second I got to ask to announce, it's like, I would love to do that because because I've told you before, there's nothing more annoying than like a Steve Mathis or someone that's can't make it and can't ride, but they have all these opinions on, you know, why Roxon sucks and Roxon's doing this wrong. I don't think he cares. And it's like, I like hearing it from the athlete's mouth. You know, like if Stewart's like, oh, I think Chase is struggling here and it's probably because of this and this, you're like, yeah, Stewart's been in that position. Right. Like I hated hearing one of the X Games announcers, like if I missed a trick by that much on an extension, like, he looks a little sloppy. It's like, it's windy. It's slick going up to the ramp. There's a lot of variables, you know, we're under pressure. Like you don't know what it's like being out there with everyone watching you. And we get one shot a year. Like at least Supercross guys get, you know, 4 months of rounds to kind of put it together. We get one shot, and it used to drive me nuts. So I think it's great. And that's where I think Jet and all these dudes they're already giving back to the sport without even having to do it. Interacting with the fans, having their social media, you know, like they always do, what's that like meeting they do? Almost like a preseason kickoff meet and greet type deal. They do a bunch of those. It's like no other riders do that stuff. And that's a way for fans to come see these guys and realize that they're normal dudes. Yeah. You know, and I love seeing James back in there. It's cool having Ricky in there. You know, he messes up a lot and doesn't talk the best. But when Rick says something, you listen to it. Because you know, like that dude has won hundreds of races. Yeah. So when he says it, you're like, yeah, you know, and so I'm glad to see James back. It was kind of weird. Like, I don't feel like he did the end of his career right. Like just falling off the map, not even giving updates. It's like, he could have retired after his second year in the 450 class and people would have respected it. He had more years than that and then just kind of fell off the deep end. And like, you know, I wish he would have like been more in tune with that, but he is coming back. And so any athlete that gives back to their sport, whether it's NFL, you know, ex-players being in the booth, it's like, it's just always such a better perspective and a better way to get to know James or Ricky or anyone, you know? So, I
mean, it's always good to have that professional analyst broadcaster because they're good at what they do.
You have to have those. Yeah.
It's always good to have them, but it's amazing to have the ex-athlete or current athlete in there with you talking because you do learn a lot more from it. You know, even this weekend, Stewart said something about Sexton and Lawrence battling. They're like, if there's anyone on the track that you really want to beat, is your teammate. And I was like, I never really thought of it like that. I thought like, you know, obviously like if Eli was out there, they want to beat Eli because everyone knows that Eli is the top guy. Yeah. So, but he's like, no, you want to beat your teammate because
you got to go back to the truck together. And like, it's an ego thing. I mean, obviously if Eli's out there, they want to beat him too. Yeah. But, you know, like you always want to have the upper hand in the truck, I would think.
Yeah, and that's exactly what Stewart was saying. But like me, as not knowing that stuff, I'm like, oh, that's cool perspective. I didn't really think about that, you know. So it's always good to see that. But I think James actually owes us, he looks in shape. So I think he owes us at least a comeback race.
No way.
Just one.
He will yard sale so bad.
I mean, it's okay.
You're just saying that because he blocked you.
No. No, I like Stewart.
Yeah, the sport's in a good place though, honestly, like with everything going on right now. And, you know, like I said, having Danger Boy in the lights class, even though he went 6'2", I think, for second overall. But he's got a riding style and a personality that you like to follow, right? Like you're not really following Justin Cooper. Yeah. A lot of people aren't. And he's an awesome rider, but it's like these dudes like Christian Craig, that's why he's one of the most popular riders. It's because he's very good at showing you every day of his life. Yeah. You know, day to day, raising 3 kids and, you know, practicing training and then getting hurt and still raising 3 kids. Yeah. It's like.
And he's not very good.
He's pretty damn good.
I mean, not in the 450s.
Dude, he's like 6th, 7th place. That's pretty good.
I mean, you know.
The world's best, yeah.
But he went from winning the championship in the lights to, you know. But you're talking about, and this made me think about it, like Hampshire. Hampshire's fast in the 250, and he'll probably have to move up. Yeah. Well, I don't know if they make him move up anymore, but he'll move up to 450s, and he's not gonna battle Jet.
Yeah, he'll be like a 6th, 7th place dude. And
it's kind of the same thing.
Yeah.
It's not that they're not good. It's just I'm just saying from winning championships in the lights class and then moving up to the 450s and getting top 10.
Yeah, but you got to like remember too that everyone in the 450s is a champion.
Yeah, true.
Right, so it's just that's where Jet's so impressive is he was a champion and then he moved right back up and he still thinks because that's these dudes when they're on lights bikes are all at the test track together. Because I remember that was the coolest thing I ever heard McGrath say. Is one time I got to actually hang out with him and we were just shooting the shit. And I love like history, right? And I'm like, man, in '93, you were you won 2 West Coast titles, I believe, before that. You get signed to Factory Honda. You're a young dude. All these dudes, like I said, they're old, gritty dudes that'll just run you over. They don't care.
Yeah.
Back then, you took dudes out. Now you can't freaking come within a bike of them, and they're crying. So I'm like, how the hell did you know, like, after 3 rounds, you were going to just pretty much be, like, sweeping, like a Stanton or someone? And he's all, looks at me kind of weird, like it was a dumb question. He's like, dude, on my 125 at the test track every day, he's always 2 seconds a lap faster than Stanton.
Damn.
So he's like, I knew the second I lined up on the gate with him on the same bike, I was going to beat him.
Yeah.
And in my mind, that mentality was so weird because I think it's Jeff Stanton. Like, let's just say I'm McGrath. I'm like, dude, that's Jeff Stanton. Damon Bradshaw. Like, these dudes are old school, like, gnarly dudes, and I'm this young kid. So that's probably why I was never good at racing, though. Because, like, I could probably have the same lap time as Stanton, but, dude, you get me on the gate with him, I'm like, that guy's intimidating.
Yeah, and that's obviously that's the difference between a champion and a not a champion, and he just had that mentality. Yeah. That's pretty cocky.
Yeah.
But he had the time to prove it.
He elevated Supercross the way it was rode to, he was a kind of a pioneer in the sport where those dudes weren't. So he had that upper hand, but still it's like, you've still got to put it together.
Right.
He could still whole shot the race and in his head be like, okay, I'm 2 seconds faster than this dude, no problem. But then, you get to like 5 laps to go, arms could pump up, you could wash out, crash. It's like, he didn't, he swept that whole season. And he swept for 5 or 6 years after that, and so I think that's where like a Jet is probably different than a Craig is like, Jet goes in and he's like, I've been at the test track with Sexton, I trained with him, do this, do that. And I know I'm faster than him. So as long as I get a good start and don't do anything stupid, I'm probably going to beat him.
Yeah. I think that's exactly what happened to his brother too, because his brother was not there, right? And then this year in Supercross, he came out and just smoking everyone. And he's probably going to do the same in outdoor. And I think he just realized, I think maybe part of it was, hey, my brother's better than me. He's my younger brother. That sucks. Yeah. He felt defeated, but then maybe he was like, who cares? I want to kill it. Yeah. And then once he got that confidence, now he's doing what he's supposed to do.
Yeah. And there's just, all it is a belief system. You got to believe in yourself. And that's what I'm saying about Jet and where Chase maybe still needs to work on it is like, if you truly believe you can do it, it's no problem. Yeah. Like when I went to Speed and Style, because it was pretty much the only freestyle event that I was actually comfortable in, where I like thought I was maybe the favorite. Because like in regular freestyle, I'm not 3 and I'm not double flip. I knew where I kind of stood. But man, I remember walking into like Staples the first year I got my gold, and I'm like, dude, I'm gonna win this thing. Yeah, no problem. Like I know I can beat everyone on the track. I'm not worried about that. But how do I beat Nate by enough? Like I was already thinking about the final. I didn't even think about the brackets going in. Right, that's how confident I finally got. And I ended up beating Nate by 3 seconds. He beat me by 2 points, so I won by a point in freestyle. So it's like that was my only thing. Is like I'm gonna go as fast as I can on this track every lap. Like. People thought it was weird that I was riding my road bike 30, 40 miles a day and running and riding the tracks more than the ramps, but I knew that was going to be my strength. Yeah. And even though it's 4 laps, dude, the race can't be more than 2-3 minutes, but your heart rate's up, your nerves, everything. It's like, I wanted to make sure that I was not worried about any kind of conditioning because the previous years of Speed and Style, I didn't take it serious. And it's like, I would start to tighten up, hold my breath next thing I'm out of shape on this track, having to hit the ramp, do a backflip, And so, yeah, once you get that, I'm really glad I got to experience how it feels. I can't imagine getting paid what the racers get paid and like Jet moving into the 450s and he's like on the line. He's like, his heart rate's probably freaking 60 beats per minute, Yeah. Because he just and Hunter's getting there. Hunter wins this outdoor title and like, I'm talking like wins it, like proves that he's the dude. If he crashes here and there, whatever, but if he proves he's the dude, like kind of like he did in the second moto, he'll move into the 450s at some point and he'll be a podium dude. Yeah. And that's where Christian maybe struggles, going back to him, is he knew he needed to win a lights title. And he looked great that last year, besides a couple little errors here and there. But I think when he gets into the 450s, he maybe had like my mentality. where it's like, I don't know if he truly believes that he's Tomac's pace
Yeah.
or, I don't know, who's Webb's pace or Chase's pace.
Yeah.
Because we've seen it, because he always like on Instagram posts, oh, it's my starts. I got to get better starts. But then he'll get like a 4th place start and finish 7th.
Yeah.
So it's like, but if that ever matches up, because Christian's one of the most naturally talented dudes on a bike. I know he works hard. If that ever matches up, you'd watch him. He'd be on the podium.
Yeah.
I still don't think he would be like at Jet's level, but I know he can be at Webb's level and, those dudes. Like I said, it's some people, it lines up different than others. I mean, it took me 7 years to truly believe that I could be in the sport, and so it's a weird thing. I mean, that's in life though. It's in general. I mean, you could be, you could be the freaking secretary to the company, and 8 years later you could be the CEO. Yeah. Because you believe in yourself and you're working to that goal. Right. But then there's some people that will be a secretary their whole life, because that's just where they're at, and they don't care to pursue or progress and, whatever. And I mean, I was there. Like in freestyle, I knew I couldn't do those tricks. I was thankful we had demos and stuff, like, so X Games didn't matter. I actually made more money riding all year than I would if I just won X Games. But once that speed and style event came out, I'm like, this is my chance if you want to get gold medals. And dude, I busted my ass. And like I said, I truly believed deep down that I prepared and did everything I could, and I knew I was going to win. Like even the year that me and Byton had our little incident, it's like the track sucked. It was a terrible track. They started kind of dumbing them down, which was dumb because the tracks were already basic. They started dumbing them down, and I remember riding in practice. I'm like, dude, I can't get a flow on this track. But I still knew for a fact that I was faster than everyone. Yeah. I mean, in my head, I'm not saying I was, but in my head, I've just believed it. And yeah, the mind's a hell of a drug, even with golf. I mean, go to golf. It's like golfers, all these dudes on the PGA and Live Tour can shoot 62s every day. Yeah. But when they're in the Masters or in the US Open or something, and they're on that final tee box, like, do you believe in yourself to get the job done? Yeah. And the ones that do are the ones that's why like John Rahm and Scotty Scheffler and then win multiple events, and then you'll have a dude that won't win an event for 4 or 5 years. Yeah. So yeah, it's confidence. Confidence. Yeah. All about confidence. Yep.
Well, with that being said, I'm pretty confident that this podcast was bitching today. Yeah. So thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for hanging with the boys. You can check us out on all our social medias. That's at theboys_pod. Check this video out on YouTube, Spotify.
Do all the stuff.
Everywhere.
Talk shit to us. Give us praise. Give us negative. Whatever you want. Yeah. We're just stoked to do it.
Yeah. And then hopefully we can get some guests later on this month. But for now, we'll be back next week.
I got a tea time to catch. I'm out of here. Peace.